Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and for today's video we're going to have a look at the latest from the GFS, the GM, the ECMWF, the GFS Ensembles, and we'll finish up with the UKMO Office Run as well. Now I must say, it is looking very interesting in around the Christmas period. It definitely does look like now we will be seeing some winteriness, so I do think now, genuinely, some people, especially likely in the north, we will be seeing a white Christmas in terms of actually seeing some snowfall out of the sky. Now, it's how significant it is, whether it reaches all parts, that is still uncertain. As we'll run through the latest GFS, GM, and ECMWF, you'll see they do have slightly different scenarios, but it's all evolving. It's having cold air coming in from the north and east, hitting milder low pressure in from the southwest. And along that boundary, we could even be seeing significant snow. So remember, if you enjoy my vision, make sure you like and subscribe, and remember to follow and subscribe, the links in the description. So we do have a look at the latest GFS. You see we've got big high pressure over the top of the country, which means it's quite dry and mild at the moment. However, we're going to be seeing an inversion come into play over the next few days. In some areas we've got fog at the moment. We do have a yellow warning for fog in the east. When we do have fog at the moment, temperatures are down in the mid-single digits. Now, if we do run it through, the high pressure is just going to be in control over the next few days. It will start to reach further northwards towards the start of next week, and then we see colder air starting to push in from the northeast. We've got a big lobe of pretty cold air in Scandinavia and parts of Eastern Europe, and they're going to be going cold a few days earlier than us. And then you see another low pressure system move out Svalbard towards the UK. And now this latest GFS, we go really quite cold, pretty much for everyone, come Christmas Eve. And that cold air sinks southwards, but you can see there's low pressure running along the south. And on that boundary, we could be seeing snow. Now, of course, you go to the dew point look. You can see 0 degree dew point moving through. That is one thing we need for snow, and temperatures are cold as well. Again, all depends on those upper air conditions and how it does mix in with that milder sector of air. Beyond that, we go all cold through Christmas Day, and again could have some snow and some wintry showers around through Christmas Eve, Boxing Day into the 27th. We do see milder come sweeping in off the Atlantic, but it shows the breakdown of the Greenland block, which we're not seeing as much on the other models, and of course this is well beyond day 10, so it is very uncertain. By no means is the cold spell ending after 3 days or so. It could last longer, but at this stage, the only certainty we have is that it looks like a Greenland block will be building in around the 23rd of December. It does look like the UK in general will be going colder throughout the Christmas period, in and around Christmas Day. Whether we see snow is uncertain, and I'm not going to have a look at any precipitation charts today. I want to save that over the next few days, because we are still quite far out, and I don't want to make too many assertions that could be totally wrong if we see the models slightly shift. But towards the end of the run, we're seeing a classic GFS southwesterly wind with really quite mild air moving in all the way through the new year. However, I don't see it playing out exactly like that, and that's just the GFS having a bit of fun. Now, if we do have a look at the GM, see how that does compare. Again, you can see high pressure over the top of the UK at the moment. Nothing too major happening over the next few days. Inversion taking place, and then we see that low pressure drop out of Svalbard. However, you see the low pressure out in the Atlantic is a bit more energetic. And what that means is that actually we're starting to pull in southerly winds leading up to Christmas. However, as that low pressure moves through and it's back edge on Christmas Day, we start to pull in colder air. Now, the GFS has this all shifted southwards, Greenland block a bit stronger, and of course, this makes all the difference. The GM run definitely is on the milder, much milder end of the ensemble members, as we'll see towards the end of the video, but it's showing a very similar scenario, just with everything shifted a few hundred miles further northwards, which means that colder air is sitting to our north and spreading through Iceland instead of through Scotland. That makes a big difference. And you can see right towards the end of the run, we are generally chilly with blocking to our north, but you can see that colder air is not aligned to the UK. We need that block to shift a bit further southwards. So you can see here, still has a block at day 10, unlike the GFS, which breaks it down, but it's going actually just in between, not really cold, but not really mild either. But we could still definitely be seeing some snow within that. Now, if we do have a look at the ECMWF, see how that does compare once again, you can see again high pressure over the top of the UK dominating over the next few days, then moving towards Greenland, and then we see that low pressure running into that cold air. But you can see, similar to the GFS, it's a bit further southwards. And we do have a look at the upper air temperatures. Bitterly cold air to the north, milder air to the south. This is why I said definitely does look like a high chance in the north. It's that -5 line spreading through. However, in the south, 0 degree line pushing up. And then as we head through Boxing Day, that cold air sweeps in for all, and we're going into a bitterly cold northerly spell of weather. And you can see that would be locked in for a good few days, maybe more, depending on how long that high pressure holds towards Greenland. As you can see, there is no major low pressure in the wings waiting. Of course, there is one exiting northeast Canada, which could spin up and affect the UK in a few days after this towards the new year. But it does look like from Christmas until New Year's, the ECMWF would be in a locked-in cold pattern with bitty cold air to our north. And of course, with these lows spiraling through, we could have snow as well with that. Of course, on Christmas Day, you can see it will be along that boundary where we see snow in the north. For the south would be rain. But as it does move through Boxing Day, could turn back to snow and then continually see snow beyond that. So as I said at the start of the video, definitely does look like some areas on Christmas Day will be seeing some winteriness. Just where and where that boundary will be is the uncertainty. And that's why I don't want to look at precipitation charts and preempt things too much at this stage. Now, if we do have a look at the GFS Ensembles. Now, they go out to the 1st of January, and you can see by London, it's mild at the moment, and then dropping to around average, around the 21st, 22nd of December, and then slowly towards Christmas period, dropping a couple degrees below average. But you can see there is still a lot of scatter in the south, as we saw by those operational charts. That is expected with a lot of, and I mean a lot of scatter. The GM run, which went mild around the Christmas period, will be one of these much milder runs because the GFS Operational Run goes much colder, especially on the days beyond Christmas, but then returns to a much milder solution, much faster than many of the other ensemble members. So you can see it's very mixed bag at this stage. Precipitation does increase significantly in around Christmas, and a decent proportion of that could be snow, especially Midlands, Northern England, and Scotland as well. But for London, there is a lot of uncertainty in especially the medium term. The ensemble members are not really agreeing beyond around 4 or 5 days. You can see by the 22nd, 23rd of December, we see some dropping much, much colder. Now, if we do have a look at the new snow depth, you can see some significant snow depth spikes arriving around the 26th to 28th, but considering it's not particularly evolved at this stage, wouldn't be looking too much into that. Another important thing is looking at the dew points, and you can see the amount of scatter. In around the 22nd, you can see a much colder air mass does move in from the northeast, and then around the 24th, 25th, you see some ensemble members have that milder air pushing in, but similarly, some have bitterly cold air masses still in control, including the operational run of the GFS. So even though the GFS does bring in some milder air to the south for a time, we're still below freezing at dew points. So even though we don't get that -5 line through, we could still be seeing snow falling out the sky. These are one of these scenarios where, given it's December, given that we have very low UV levels, we could even be seeing snow falling at -2, -3 degrees at 850 HPA. So this is one of the caveat scenarios. So, we'll have to see really what happens here. We've got real potential, I must say. There definitely does look like we could be seeing wintry weather for Christmas. Regardless, 2-meter temperatures on Christmas Day at the moment are looking around highs of 4 or 5 degrees and lows of around 1 or 2. And it all depends on, the highs are actually in around 3 or 4 degrees, lows around 1 or 2. For that period, but you can see some members highs of 0 or 1 degree, others up to 10 degrees, ridiculously high. And again, all depends on what happens with those upper temperatures. But before that, we've got decent consensus now that the 22nd of December is looking really quite chilly in around 2 or 3 degree high, and lows are around freezing. So it does look like it's going to be going much colder next week. Whether it sustains once we see that precipitation move in through the Christmas period is the uncertain. Now, I do want to have a look at Glasgow, because Glasgow is very interesting, as it makes this point very well, how the north is looking much more likely to be seeing wintry weather. Now, you can see the precipitation is actually down because the more energetic air is further southwards with the milder air. However, along the boundary, we will definitely be seeing some snow snow. You can see the ensemble members are pretty consistent, with mild at the moment, dropping much colder around the 23rd of December and staying around the -5 line all the way to sort of the last couple of days of December. In around Christmas, -5 850 HPA from the majority of the ensemble members, looking really quite cold. New snow depth spikes, seeing significant snow depth spikes all the way through the Christmas period. Looks highly likely we'll be seeing some snow, especially across Scotland. Dew points all look below freezing, all pointing towards a potential for a lot of snow in around the Christmas period, and maybe even a white Christmas quite widely in the north. Now, if we do have a look at the precipitation and temperature, you can see at this stage nothing major. We'll run through this really quite quickly because nothing really is happening in terms of precipitation, and you can see just a lot of cloud around, potentially quite thick at times, but nothing too major. Again, it's going to be very difficult to forecast cloud amounts, and of course we'll have to keep an eye really on sort of the Met Office warnings, etc., as they will be more up to date and have better models to be looking at this. But you can just see really minimal precipitation. By early next week, once we start pulling a bit of a northeasterly flow, could be some drizzle across the east coast, but nothing too major. But those temperatures will really be dropping quite significantly through the middle of next week. Now, if we do have a look at the max temperatures, you can see earlier this morning, it was actually pretty chilly indeed, and around freezing in the east, where we saw the fog linger, but 11 or 12 degrees around London, so very big contrast in temperature because of this scenario. Through this afternoon, we saw temperatures around 10, 11 degrees for the northward, so 5 or 6 under the cloud. By Saturday afternoon, we're seeing temperatures once again rise to around 6 or 7 more widely, maybe 8 or 9 in the far southwest, but nothing too major. And overnight Saturday into Sunday, freezing across the north, but still holding up along the south. And by Sunday, the day, still quite chilly, 4 or 5 degrees. You can see it's slowly dropping day by day. And by Monday afternoon, temperatures, again, 4 or 5 degrees, freezing across the north, really quite dry. Overnight Tuesday, widespread frost, quite widely across northern England, Scotland, parts of Wales, and the Midlands as well. Through Tuesday afternoon, temperatures looking 5 or 6 degrees once again in the south, much colder in the north, and overnight, Tuesday into Wednesday, a widespread frost. One of the most widespread frosts I've seen this season. Maybe towards the end of November, we had that colder spell for a few days. We saw a widespread frost similar to this, but this will be a real hard overnight frost. Leading up into the days of Christmas, where we could see some winter precipitation, this will just mean the ground surface temperatures will be freezing, which, if you want a lot of settling snow, is good, but if you are travelling around the Christmas period, this will mean snow will more readily settle, even on roads, and if we do see that snowfall as quite powdery snow, could even settle on gritted surfaces. So I really have to see how this does play out. But it's looking very cold in the lead up to Christmas, and there is the potential at this stage of seeing widespread winteriness, especially in the north, and can't rule out the south at this stage. So a white Christmas really does look a possibility. So anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure you stay up to date with the videos. I should still be getting out some videos over the course of this week, even though I am going to be really quite busy. So I still should be able to get out some forecast videos. But regardless of that, make sure you do check out the videos that I do post and the Met Office warnings, of course. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.